Hello, this is a video response to one of my subscribers. A lovely time. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. It's a new channel. Every subscriber is very welcome. I've been having a rather invigorating discussion on freedom of speech. And the reason why I'm making this video, particularly in this fashion, most of my videos now, I did start off on my alternate channel by doing videos in this format, but I didn't find it worked out quite so well for me. But the reason why I'm doing it again is because I want it to be a little bit more personal. My other style of videos, it's a bit slicker, it's a lot more thought out, but it does lose a certain amount of the personal touch. And the reason why I want to make it a bit more personal is because of your last comment. Excuse me, tickly throat. It's because of your last comment that you made, and it was quite upsetting. You seemed so angry and upset. There's a lot of emotion came from it, and I don't want you to feel like that I'm trying to put your opinion down. I don't want you to feel like I think your opinion is completely and utterly wrong in every respect. There's things about what you say that I don't agree with. There's things like the limitation of freedom of speech, where my limitations personally, I've explained it in another video, but essentially it's when you start illegally infringing upon somebody's rights. And I kind of pointed out that the main subject that we're talking about, Prop 8, that the Mormon Church didn't actually breach those codes, those boundaries, because they were essentially changing a law by lawful means. Now, whether you think those changes were moral or not are completely another thing. They're totally another matter. I happen to agree with you, for the most part, on your assessment that the likes of Fox News putting right-wing pundits on and passing it off as news is a very wrong thing to do. I think that the title of news outlet ought to be a protected term, which is governed by some sort of fairness doctrine, which America pretty much got rid of some years ago, and I think it's probably one of the worst things they could have possibly have done. Also, on Prop 8, I am very much with you. I think the actions of those people was not only immoral, but it was just downright despicable. I'm 100% with you there. I don't know if it affected you directly. I don't know hardly anything about you. Your channel doesn't have an awful lot of information about you. I don't even know if you're a man or a woman. I don't know if you're gay, straight, whatever. Not that it matters. I kind of get the feeling that there is something which is particularly upsetting you about this. But that aside, I just like to try to make you feel a little bit more positive about freedom of speech. You're very negative. Most of your responses about freedom of speech have been very negative, highlighting very negative things, but the positive things are so much more important. Prop 8 will be a temporary thing. I guarantee you it will be a temporary thing. And you know why? Because everyone can express, now that this thing is in place, they can express their outrage at it. They have the right to go out and shout this thing down as the bigoted little measure that it is. You know, there's so many examples throughout history of the good things that freedom of speech can do. Not least, you know, where we are scientifically in this world. So many things that, you know, I mean, the church trying to suppress. You know, if freedom of speech hadn't have reigned, or hadn't come through, then we'd still be stuck in a mentality where the sun rotates around the earth. You know, this is the kind of points where you know, free speech is absolutely crucial. It's changes society. Now, at the point where the likes of Galileo were being shouted down by churches in an attempt to kind of censor him, you know, if he hadn't stood up and said this stuff, we would have been in such a poor place. Martin Luther King, for instance, so many people in this country, he was in a minority opinion at that time, you know, but that minority opinion, that minority voice became so loud that it changed the country, it changed the world. And that's what freedom of speech can do. His opinion might have been utterly offensive to some people. Some people thought it was very dangerous. But he stood up, he spoke, and he made a difference. And that's why freedom of speech is so important. Prop 8, yeah, it's the reverse of. It's about discrimination, it's about marginalisation, it's about limiting rights. It's done in a legal fashion, but it will change. Because we can talk about it, because we can speak up about it, and because we can criticise the Mormon Church. We don't have to worry about their fucking feelings. We can call them up for being the bigoted little twats that they are. And that's where my right and your right and the rights of loads and loads of other people, as many people out there who hold a counter opinion to the Mormon Church. This is where our strength is. This is where we can affect and change things, just like they did. That's why it's so important. That's why it has to be free and unfettered. That's why we can't leave it in the hands of politicians. That's why we can't leave it in the hands of courts. The limitations have to be minimal. And those limitations are basically where we start to stifle other people's rights to live and to comment freely. And those limits are pretty well defined in law. Not perfectly, but it will be. We work on it. It's very early in the morning. It's a bit rambling. I hope it helps. Good night.